The 2022 NBA free agency is just around the corner, and I want to highlight everything that we know so far. The offseason is one of the most exciting and fun parts of the NBA. And going into this summer, there are a lot of your favorite stars that could become available, and I'm here to give you guys a full, complete breakdown. So if you're a big NBA fan and you want to stay updated on the upcoming 2022 most important free agents, you're going to love this. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. If you're new, welcome. My name is Soom and I make basketball videos every single day. So be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. On this channel, we smash the thumbs up button. We don't just like it. It'll help out the channel a lot. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about the 2022 NBA free agency. I have to start off this video and talk about Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards. We are curious to know what Bradley Beal is going to do. Going into this offseason, Bradley Beal will be entering the summer with a player option. And during the past offseason, the Wizards actually offered Bradley Beal an extension, but he actually turned it down. Bradley Beal has been vocal on saying that he wants to stay with the Wizards and wants to win here, similar to the same situation as Damian Lillard. And during this year's NBA trade deadline, the Wizards made a move that might keep Bradley Beal to staying around. They traded away Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans, bringing in Kristaps Porzingis. So now in Bradley Beal's perspective, can him and Porzingis and even Kyle Kuzma lead the way for them in the Eastern Conference? That is something Bradley Beal is thinking about right now. In this upcoming summer, the Wizards are able to offer Bradley Beal a plus 2-year, $70 million plus extension. And with Bradley Beal right now out for the remainder of the season with an injury, he's going to think about and reevaluate his future. And I do believe that it wouldn't be a surprise if he opts out of his player option and then of course target open free agency to see what competitors or even what other team can offer him more. But to all of the Washington Wizards fans out there, I got some good news. I'm going to predict that Bradley Beal will most likely stay in Washington. The next star on this list is Zach Lavine of the Chicago Bulls. Zach Lavine is going to be entering this summer as a UFA, an unrestricted free agent, which means he's going to be in open waters. Anybody can fish him in, and it's just a matter of which line Zach Lavine's going to bite. Y'all like that little reference there? It wasn't that good, but hopefully you guys understood it. So far this season, the Bulls have been tremendously improved. They got DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, and from what it looks like, they're in a win now mode. And honestly, it looks like their roster looks good, and there's a good chance that Zach Lavine does stay. Averaging about 26 points per game, 5 rebounds and 5 assists, and 40% from distance, Zach Lavine has a high chance of getting offered a near max contract. And with him being the future of this team alongside DeMar, I do not want to see the duo break up. But you never know. We've seen crazier things where people would leave because of financial situations and maybe they feel there's a better spot for them on another team. But because Zach Lavine has morphed into an all-star, a franchise player, and a part of a championship contender, it's going to be difficult for me seeing him leave Chicago. So if I'm going to be honest, in this free agency, Zach Lavine could possibly stay. The next superstar is James Harden of the Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden is one of the biggest stars going into the summer because we don't know his future. James Harden has proven to us that he's willing to change his mind, change his scenery if he's unhappy. He was unhappy in Houston, went to the Brooklyn Nets. We thought he'd be happy here. He was unhappy in Brooklyn, now is on the Philadelphia 76ers. So now let's see if James Harden ultimately is happy. When James Harden got traded from Brooklyn to Philly, a part of the deal was James Harden opting into his player option for the upcoming season, which means he won't be a free agent. But immediately after the trade went through, we got news that actually the paperwork didn't go down, it didn't go through, which means that James Harden will remain as a free agent with the player option. So with that being said, the future of James Harden is still blurry. We don't know what he's going to do. But of course, I do believe the success of the Philadelphia 76ers this season, of course, going into the postseason, seeing how far they can go, seeing the chemistry will ultimately affect James Harden's decision. And no matter what he chooses, I do believe he'll be in a good spot. If he stays in Philly, he's still a contender. If he enters open free agency, he's obviously going to go to a team that can offer him a good contract, but of course, in a winning situation. So of course, it's a win-win for James Harden. Let's see what he decides to do. The next star on this list is DeAndre Ayton of the Phoenix Suns. He's going to be the most sought out player when it comes to restricted free agency. The Suns are going to have first dibs on DeAndre, but then of course teams can match after the Suns try to bring him back. And from what it sounds like, the Suns are going to do whatever they can to keep him. They want to keep the core of Chris Paul, Booker, and DeAndre Ayton for the next 2 to 3 years. Ever since entering the NBA in 2019, DeAndre Ayton has been a force to be reckoned with, averaging about 16 points a game, 11 rebounds, and even shooting 60%. DeAndre Ayton is a rising big in the NBA and has so much room to grow. And right now, with the Phoenix Suns being the best team in the NBA when it comes to regular standings and winning, DeAndre Ayton does not want to leave this team, especially with them having the eligibility on offering DeAndre Ayton a max contract. So my prediction, DeAndre Ayton enters restricted free agency, the Suns offer him a near max rookie deal, and then of course, he's staying with Booker and CP. Next up, we got Miles Bridges of the Charlotte Hornets, arguably the most improved player of this year. And of course, with Miles Bridges being 23 years old, he's going to be getting a pretty good contract extension because of his performance this year. Breaking out, Miles Bridges is averaging about 20 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. And right now, with him leading the Charlotte Hornets in points, he's becoming the franchise duo partner with LaMelo Ball as we speak. The Charlotte Hornets do have money in this upcoming summer. They could offer Miles Bridges a near max contract as well, but in my opinion, maybe offering him something like a 3-year $100 million deal or a 4-year $100 million deal might be something within the range of Miles Bridges. One thing's for sure, I do believe he's going to re-sign, but of course, if a team in the NBA sees his value, just like for example how a team signed Jeremy Grant after he broke out in Denver, I wouldn't be surprised if Miles Bridges walks and goes to a team that offers him the most money. We'll see about that. The next star is Kyrie Irving of the Brooklyn Nets. This is something I'm very excited to talk about because right now Kyrie is actually a part-time player due to the rules of New York not letting him play home games because he's not vaccinated. But the good news is we're hearing that apparently the vaccination mandate might be lifted, so Kyrie might be a full-time player. But this is what I'm saying. I believe going into this offseason, if the rule does not change, Kyrie Irving remains a part-time player. I wouldn't be surprised if he opts out of his player option and then joins a new team, a new city that gives him the eligibility on playing full-time games. So of course, Kyrie Irving is a very big question mark, especially after James Harden left. You can argue that the Brooklyn Nets got worse or they got better. It doesn't matter. It's just a matter of Kyrie Irving thinking, does he belong in Brooklyn with Kevin Durant? Is he going to be available to play? And does it make sense for the rest of his career? Kyrie Irving has a player option this summer, and if he enters open free agency, there are a lot of teams that are going to be targeting him. The next player is a rising star, Collin Sexton of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's going to enter this summer as a RFA, restricted free agent, which means the Cavs have first dibs, and then of course after that teams are going to be targeting him. So far this season, Sexton has been out with a torn meniscus and will miss the rest of the season, but he's on track to come back immediately as the start of next season. And with him only being 23 years old, being recognized as a young star, there are a lot of teams in the NBA that are valuing Collin Sexton, and I do believe with him under Bird rights, teams are going to be targeting him faster than ever. From what it looks like right now, the Cavaliers don't want to invest in Collin Sexton anymore. They want to invest in Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, which means I do believe Collin Sexton will be leaving the Cavs this summer. The question is, will he join a contender or join a team that offers him the most money? And with him still being young and not ring chasing yet, I do believe he's going to be going for the most lucrative contract that becomes available. Collin Sexton just heal up and come back as one of the better young shooting guards in the league. Next up, we got one of my favorite under-the-radar bigs in the NBA, Jonas Valanciunas of the Pelicans. I believe with JV entering this summer as a UFA, an unrestricted free agent, he's going to be walking and entering a championship contender. Of course, that offers him a good and decent contract. Of course, JV isn't like a max contract type of player, but he is a very good center, averaging about 18 points, 12 rebounds, and shooting 40% from 3 this season. He's a valuable big in the NBA that is simply evolving from a traditional big to more of a new generation big that can be a dominant presence in the paint, but also be a killer on spacing the floor. The question now is, does JV feel like after getting CJ McCollum, if Zion Williamson can get healthy, can the Pelicans become a contender? So of course, if he feels they can, I wouldn't be surprised if he stays. The next star is Russell Westbrook of the Los Angeles Lakers. This is one of my more favorite topics to talk about because right now with Russell Westbrook being on the top of headlines game after game, especially right now with him kind of not performing well on the Lakers, I'm curious to know what he's going to do this summer. He's going to be entering this summer with a $45 million player option. That is a lot of money. And if I'm going to be honest, it's going to be smart for Russell Westbrook to opt in and stay with the Lakers for one more season. Because of course, if he opts out, you don't know if there are going to be other teams offering him a multi-year deal worth more than that amount of money. So that's the question. Russell Westbrook and even the Lakers, are they willing to invest in Russell Westbrook for one more season? Because so far this season, we're seeing the struggles. We're seeing him not work. So now we're going to have to figure out to see what's going to happen. One thing's for sure though, there are rumors that the Lakers are going to be going into this offseason with the same big three of Russell Westbrook, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. But of course, even if Russell Westbrook opts into his contract, it doesn't mean the Lakers can't trade him and bring in more valuable depth. To of course put Russell Westbrook on a team where he can truly excel, and then the Lakers get good quality depth surrounding LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And the last free agent that I want to talk about is Dennis Schroder, currently of the Houston Rockets. Dennis Schroder will be entering this summer as a UFA once again, which means he can sign with any team that he wants. Last offseason, the Lakers actually offered Dennis Schroder a 4-year, $85 million deal that Dennis Schroder turned down. And oh boy, Dennis Schroder, that might have been one of the biggest mistakes of your life because he ended up signing only a $5 million deal with the Celtics on a mid-level exception, got traded to the Rockets, but now we got good news that Dennis Schroder will be remaining with the Rockets, which means he's going to get a lot of opportunity and a lot of burn, which means his value could raise once again in this upcoming summer. And hopefully, I want to see Dennis Schroder excel and get a pretty good contract because he deserved a decent contract last season, and now it's time to prove to the NBA again that you deserve another opportunity. Dennis Schroder will be one of the more sought out players in this upcoming offseason because he's a UFA point guard that of course has a chip on his shoulder and wants to prove everybody wrong. Teams are already interested in Dennis even via the buyout market, but with him staying in Houston to the end of the season in the summer, teams are still going to be targeting him. So yes guys, this wraps up my video talking about a complete breakdown of the best free agents in this upcoming summer, in this upcoming open free agency. I've listed the most important of the free agents in the bio below, so of course if you guys want to read who's going to become a free agent, check out the description down below. I got you guys. What's most important to me is I want to know your thoughts. Do you guys have any opinions on these stars, these free agents, and where they're gonna go? And if you do, let me know down in the comments below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!